Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and you know, last week we did a show with Beth talking about how the Ebby Halliday way is and how she helps home buyers. But this week we're going to talk about sellers, and we've got a lot of homes for sale down here, and not every realtor or brokerage works the same. And so we've got a sheet here you're gonna look at.
We're not gonna do all 10 though, because that was a little bit long.
Yeah.
We're not gonna overindulge.
We're gonna touch on some of the topics on how the Ebby Halliday helps home sellers, and how Beth, we're gonna break it down because otherwise it'll be a 30-minute show. So
right.
What's some of the things?
So let's
one
start
of the
with,
biggest things.
Let's start again with your goal,
Okay.
right? So everybody solves for a reason.
Right.
Right.
It may be get closer to the grandkids, maybe health reasons.
Maybe it's just in your business plan that it's now time to sell.
Right.
And so we got to start with why. Let's start with the why, and let's dig into why and what you want to get out of this sale. Okay. And one of the things is that a lot of people have it's back to the numbers in your head. We've got lots of numbers in our head. Right? So we need to get that number out of your head and onto the paper, and why you have that number.
How they came up with it.
Where did this number come from, right? And so once we determine that, then I'm going to do, again, a market analysis. We talk about that a lot. And that's pulling things that have recently sold, things that are on the market, things that have expired and come off the market. It's really important to look at the ones that are no longer on the market, because that might tell you a reason why, right? And then coming up with a price for what we really can list your home for.
Right.
And now
if you want it to sell in a timely manner.
If you want it to sell to meet your goal.
Right.
Right. I have people who list houses, and I don't always take them, and sometimes I do, and it depends on the situation, where I'm looking at that price going, this house is not going to move.
Right.
And they're like,
but
that's
you
okay.
give them
market analysis. I give them the market analysis. I make them sign that market analysis. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This is what I'm sharing with you. This is what the market is telling you. Now, what we choose to do together is a different story.
Right.
Right. And again, it goes back to the why. Why are we doing this? What are we trying to get out of it?
Right.
Okay. Then the other thing is a net sheet. And so what is a net sheet? And a net sheet is taking all the numbers, what the price is that you're hoping to get for your house, what it's going to cost to sell the house. So what you're going to compensate the brokerage for. Are you going to compensate the other agent?
Right.
How much is that going to be if you're going to do that? Different things. You may know that there are some repairs that you haven't done that you're probably going to be asked to pay for. So we're going to put a number to that. Title policies. All these different things that they may be asking for. And I like to throw in some kind of in-case scenarios, which I'll build into your net sheet. What if they ask you to pay points? Can you afford to do that at this number?
Right.
Right? Where is this going to come from? And we're going to structure, and I always like to structure three potential offers. What would an offer look like? Where can we negotiate? What do we have? So we know ahead of time.
Right.
If you don't know those things ahead of time, and I get an offer, and I call you and I say, hey, David, we got an offer on your house. The number's great, but they're asking you to pay for this, and this. Now that number is no longer that number.
Right.
We need to subtract that all out. This is what your bottom line is.
Stand at the bottom line.
At the bottom line.
And that's what it comes down to. We've talked about, as a buyer,
oh my gosh,
going in, changing, you may not take it off the sale price, but you
you're
may
gonna
get some
take
other
it down
things.
here.
This is that worksheet.
This is that worksheet. And so I like to play around with a couple of them ahead of time and make up like little scenarios, so that takes that sting out, and it brings you back to reality before those offers actually come in. We've already talked about this might happen. Right? And so we've already played with those numbers from the get-go. That you called me up and I came over and we had coffee and we talked about, these are some things that we may have to do to get you out of this house and on your way.
On your way.
And I think that is really important. So a lot of times we get stuck, again, like purchasing, we get stuck on that list price. Selling is the same thing. They pick that list price, and that's the number that's stuck in their head. And right off the mark, that's not the number they're actually getting.
Right.
And so,
well, working with your realtor is the biggest thing.
It's huge.
And take your time.
Yes, and have the real conversation.
Yes, don't just, I'm thinking about selling my house, but let's put it for this. Because you're wasting the realtor's time and you're wasting your time. And that's the biggest thing.
Well, and you're wasting the buyer's time.
Yeah.
Because the buyer's going to come to this house and look at it, and they may love it. But if you're not going to negotiate with them, if you're going to be stuck on that, then...
Because you bought it, you want to be able to retire off it.
Right.
That's not going to work in today's market.
It might. Right.
Let's touch on one more subject real quick.
Yes. What do you want to pick? Let's... staging tips. Okay, that's the hardest part of my job.
Well, and to me,
it's so important.
First vision.
It makes all, when you unlock that door and you walk
open
in, no matter how old the house is, the person coming in wants to feel new.
Right.
They're looking for a home for a reason.
Right.
And a lot of times, even down here, they're looking for a home because where they are, they don't feel good anymore.
Right.
Right. So they want to come to a place.
Or they're using it for an investment or something.
But they want to walk into a place and they want it to feel clean and new and decluttered.
You know, a lot of
people
people
see all
said
your stuff.
On a home, when they're doing open houses, they'll put cinnamon or something, you know, in there. Man, if you want to sell me a house, fry some bacon. Fry some bacon so when I walk in that house, it smells like bacon. And I tell you what, we're going to buy that house.
I had a seller call me and tell me about that. I have a showing, but I left the crock pot on. Is that okay? I said, oh my God, the house smells so good.
Yeah. So
those are important things. Knowing how to and fine tune it without it making it look too sterile. Because a lot of people go too far the other way.
Right.
And now they're like, well, what's happened in the South?
Well, and the biggest thing is the knickknacks, the little things here and there, just so that it's tidy when they walk in.
Yes.
And if the house has been closed up, run the AC.
Turn the ceiling fans on.
Yeah, it looks like a home that's used all the time.
Keep that air circulating.
Yep.
Yes, and cool.
And cool.
Yes.
Nothing, especially in July. Nothing worse than walking in a house that's set on 85 degrees.
And the fan hasn't been on all summer.
And then you think, well, down here you've got to run your AC to keep the humidity out. Is the house dry? Is there some mold? And so you're better off running the AC, keeping that air circulation, circulating, keeping everything dry. So,
yeah.
Anything else before we go?
Reviewing contract documents. That's another big one.
Well, make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
And understanding what you're agreeing to, especially now that we're doing it all on our phone.
Yeah.
Because when I call you and say, hey, David, this is a great offer and I think you should take it and I'm going to send it over to you, you're just going to click your signature.
Right.
And you're not reading those documents. So I'm going to make sure you're reading the documents. I'm going to read them to you.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
like
really
my
important.
Insurance lady kept wanting to get my insurance business here. I said, look, you come over and inventory everything, you can have it. Right. She came over and spent half a day because of the camera equipment and everything, you know. So
she did it.
That's right. Absolutely. She did it. And that's what your realtor should do for you is read through everything, make sure everything's just as what you had agreed to before. It didn't get swapped around in a translation or something.
Right. So. Nothing lost in those digital signatures.
Well, for more information on buying a home or selling a home down here, get hold of Beth Appleby. Her information's here on the show. You can also find her on our website under the realtors. And like I always say, use a local realtor, someone that lives here that knows the market and studies the market. So, Beth, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll be back next week with another show. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.